Positively awesome wrestling podcast, and we are here today to discuss Bad Blood, baby. Because I don't know about y'all, I'm very pumped about Bad Blood. Very, 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 very pumped. But before we even get to that, introduce our beautiful co-hosts for the evening. To the right of me, we have Albert. Albert, how the heck are you been? How the heck have you been? And how pumped are you for Bad Blood on a scale of 1 to 10?
I've been good, and I'm at a 10. At every WWE PLE, I'm at a 10. They, we'll go into this a little bit later. I think that I think WWE could help by adding 1 or 2 more matches onto their PLEs, but even still, no matter what they do, every single time they've got me excited. So,
and they always pretty much deliver.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they've faltered at all this year, which is pretty incredible. And they only faltered once last year, so they're on a really good track record. So I don't care about 5. If the show's good, the show's good.
Agreed.
But and now to the left of me, we don't have Tidey today, but we do have the invisible hand himself from Wrestle Buddy. How the heck have you been, sir? And how excited are you for Bad Blood?
I'm always happy and I'm always good. Okay, super excited for Bad Blood, but feeling robbed because Drew versus Punk is not main eventing the show.
We're not going to get Jimmy all riled up. We're not going to do that.
I like when you're riled up.
I'll just accept the fact that they got it wrong this time, but the show should still be really, really, really good. Because what that tells me is we got a nice surprise coming at the end. That's what I'll say. So, but even though Tidey is not here, we will bring. I'm going to message him the stuff, and he's going to get us those predictions. He's still going to be part of the game that we are playing. And if you've never done a prediction show with us before, we like you to play along. And I like to add in a few extra bonus questions because everyone does the same things, and then it's all the same stuff. I like to throw in some extra stuff just to make it a little bit more spicy. So, before we even go any further, I'll ask one question here. It's not a bonus question. It's just a personal preference. I'll go with Alex first. What match are you excited for the most, even though I know the answer?
Punk versus Drew.
Clear.
Nothing else. I'm not excited for Roman and this solo match because I know in the end some shenanigans will happen. And in the end, most likely Solo and Jacob are winning. And Roman is taking the pin.
Woo, he's jumping ahead of stuff here. He's getting bold. Albert, what about you? Which match are you excited for the most? I know that's the answer too.
It's Punk and Drew. I mean, it's been the feud of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been the feud of the year. And look, there's a part of me, I think look, I'm very happy that my boy Finn Balor is getting a PLE match and a singles PLE match, mind you.
At that, yeah.
I'm really, really excited about that. I'm very happy. But I mean, how could you not be excited about Punk versus Drew in Hell in a Cell? I mean, it's that match that kind of just overshadows everything, you know? There's just the personal animosity between the two of them, the way this has been built, there's just nothing that feels as big right now as that. And I love that WWE's been able to do that without a championship involved between the two of them. Drew had it for 5 minutes. Drew had it for 4 minutes, and that's been it. Yeah.
For the first half of the feud, the title was involved, but neither one of them had it, and I think that was interesting. And then they've evolved from it, so that's cool. And like I was saying the other day to my buddies, I think it's brilliant that they've been able to extend this feud as long as they have, and it not get old. I don't care if you thought the bracelet was stupid. Hey, they gave us a feud that didn't revolve around a title, and it had meaning to it. So you're just nitpicking at that point. Chill out. And clearly, I'm most excited for Punk and Drew as well. It's a clean sweep. My only gripe here is that I had the opportunity to get tickets for the show before they announced any matches, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make the decision not to. And now I'm like, first off, my boy Dom could use my help. I could get him out of that shark cage if I was there, and I'm not there to do so. I'm so sorry, Daddy Dom. And I'm missing Punk and Drew in a freaking Hell in a Cell. I'll live with my regrets, though. I'll live with them, and that's okay. We got Amanda in the chat. What is up, Amanda? Thank you for joining, babe. As always, mucho appreciated. And we got Courtney in the chat. Hey, fam. What is up, Courtney? Thank you for joining us as well. Don't forget to play along, ladies. But now we will jump right into the show. Since we know it's opening up, we'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. I would like you... I'll go with Alex first again here. Tell me how you feel about the last month of the build for this particular match, so we don't have to keep reliving the whole feud, because it's like 8-9 months long at this point. The last month for this match, how have you felt about the build, and who do you got winning and why?
I feel Punk should win because he deserved to win, honestly. From when he come, he's not getting like the limelight that he deserves. He needs a world title match with Seth Rollins, according to me, in WrestleMania. I don't want Seth versus Punk without title. I want with title. And I want to see Punk with the title. I'm a CM Punk fan. I'm saying from that perspective. I'm not saying as a regular fan. No, I want CM Punk to be the world heavyweight champion. That's it. That's why he should win. Drew already win his title for a few seconds. It is fine. It is fine. We will get it next year. This year, there is no need of Drew winning the title or anything, because now Gunther is ruling. Gunther will be dethroned by maybe John Cena or something like that. Something will happen. But I need Punk to win the title in WrestleMania. That's it.
So you clearly have Punk here.
Yes.
Okay. So, Albert, what about you, sir? How have you felt about they've kind of brought back the prestige of Hell in a Cell here.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? And again, clearly, who do you have winning and why?
So I like the build now. I think that there's this Hell in a Cell used to be this big thing that only happened between people who were feuding. It meant a lot more. There was a lot more personal animosity, and then it became a pay-per-view. And then Triple H said, okay, even when we have it as a PLE, I'll figure out ways to book around it so we can get, Cody versus Seth, Hell in a Cell. Makes sense. They have a big personal rivalry. It makes sense. Now the Hell in a Cell is being used when it's supposed to be used. It's not on its own PLE. It's on Bad Blood. I think this is the best presentation we've had of the Hell in a Cell in a while. And I think that Drew and Punk have absolutely sold us on the fact of it's going to be barbaric. It's going to be, there's going to be bloodshed. It's going to go back to what we thought Hell in a Cell was supposed to be. My thing about this is I have a lot of feelings on this. I'm actually with Alex on the fact that I think that if Punk is going to win the World Championship, it should be in the main event of WrestleMania. It should be two birds with one stone. I really think that Punk's big gripe was that he never got that WrestleMania main event. It was taken out of his, his hands in that whole. And look, I went to Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania. What was that? 29 in New York. I mean,
yeah,
I was there. I would have liked, as much as I love Punk and Taker, it was the in my opinion, only good match on the show.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm so glad I went to 40 because that couldn't have been my only WrestleMania. I'm sorry. I think Punk added to that main event would have made it so much better.
Yep.
With all that being said, if Punk wins here, the trajectory has to be Gunther. It has to be, right? That means that we get that at Survivor Series. I don't know. So my thing is, I'd actually like to see Drew win. And I'd like to see Drew challenge Gunther at Survivor Series. Then Punk's got to go back into the Rumble and win the Rumble and earn his shot at Gunther at WrestleMania for the World Championship. I think that Punk winning here is a great feel-good moment, but I think that there's more to build with Punk as on the chase right now than there is Drew just, I beat Punk. I got the monkey off my back. Give me Gunther. And who's going to tell him no?
Okay. So you have Drew winning?
Yep.
Okay, I like that. Me, it's Punk.
Yeah.
It's Punk. I am a fan. Everybody knows I am as big as fan as they come when it comes to CM Punk. I think he needs this win simply because he's been there for almost a year now and he does not have a decisive victory. Yes. The only win this man has is he touched 4 corners.
Yes.
And prior to this, he said he wanted Gunther in that world title. So if he's going to do that next, he has to win this match. And I don't think it's a Survivor Series. I think it's a Crown Jewel. We know how they love to stack those cards. And I think
I don't like that either then.
Oh, well, hold on a second. I changed my mind completely. I don't think Punk even goes to Crown Jewel, if I'm being honest. So
yeah, he might not.
Survivor Series would be it. That's fine, though. My only gripe is, and I was saying this the other day, I don't know where Drew goes after a loss, though. I think Punk has way more opportunity, way more things he can do if he loses. He is still CM Punk. And he could just go, he could do so many other things and be fine. If Drew loses, I just don't see where he goes other than disappearing for a while. So I'm with Alex. I want to see Punk with that world title. If he's going to be going with after Seth Rollins, I don't see it happening, but I do want to see it. I think they have a good enough story and feud to where it's not needed. Kind of like with this. It's not needed with him and Drew. And if they were able to make magic out of kind of that little bit that we didn't even know of their history, I can only imagine the depths that him and Seth can go with some real hatred between the two. Both of them from Chicago as well. Like, there's so many layers to what they can do. I don't need the title with it. Would it be cool? Absolutely. I'm never going to say no to Punk with a title. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not mad either because he's just really good at story. He's probably the best at telling stories in the ring and on the mic than anybody in the business today. That's my opinion. So I'm clearly going CM Punk though here, and that's that. So bonus question time though. Alex.
Okay.
Who do you see bleeding first? Or if anybody's not bleeding at all. And if you say that,
there will be a lot of blood in this match. That is for sure. I see Punk bleed first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alex, what about you?
Well, Alex just went. You mean me?
Alex, no, Albert.
My bad, Albert. You're both
Alex and Albert is going to throw you off all night.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about this. Albert, who you got?
I'm going just because of that. I'm going with Punk as well.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and say clearly CM Punk's gonna bleed first. He's gonna be dripping with blood by the time this match is over with. He recently did a podcast with O'Shea Jackson, and it was a great watch. If nobody's watched it, you should. It's real easy. It's less than an hour. But he talked about the Hell in a Cell match and how he feels honored to kind of bring the prestige back to what it's supposed to be. And I think he said it best. He wants to have a match that requires the cell. He don't want to have a match that just so happens to be in the cell. So if that's his mindset, I'm thinking Shawn Michaels Bad Blood 97, which in my opinion is the best Hell in a Cell match to date. So I want them to go after that one. And
maybe he bleeds like Undertaker from No Mercy 2002.
As long as he is wearing a crimson mask.
Yep.
And Drew is
yes
marking himself with it. Hey, do it, baby. I don't want them to leave the cell, though. Do not leave the cell. Please do not leave that cell.
Yeah, I'm with it. We don't need it.
All right. So now we can move on to the next one. No match is going to top this. We got Courtney says she thinks Punk's going to win. And then, yes, babe, that match is going on first because Roman is a son of a bee. He's always got to be in that main event. All right. But now we can move on to the next match in which I'll go ahead and try and I think Naomi and Bayley will be the second matchup. I think that'll be your kind of cool down match. Because of the 5 here, I think it is the weakest as far as story. I think the stories kind of revolve around those two as opposed to the match itself. You got Naomi with Tiffany, and then you got Bayley with Naomi. So the match itself is kind of just a device for those stories. So I think it's a perfect second spot on the card. So with that, Albert, I will ask you hype level for this match, and who do you got winning?
So I made this point on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays, earlier. I think the one big thing about WWE not doing putting more matches on PLEs is that I think that it forces them to be a little bit less creative. And I think this is an instance where the WWE could have been a lot more creative. If Nia has been defending, she probably would have already had a second title defense against Bayley already if she was defending, every month. So I think that this would force them to get creative and make this a fatal four-way. And I would have rather have seen Tiffany and Naomi involved in this match on a PLE in a fatal four-way, which would be something different than everything else on the card. And it would have set it apart a little bit. That being said, I'm excited for this match because I'm very happy that Bayley is on another PLE. I think a lot of people were very upset that, not upset, but they were like, okay, well, now Bayley lost the championship. Now she's just going to, fade into obscurity for a couple of months until she gets her chance to go around. And she's right back to, being in the title chase, which is great. But I think this is just an easy Nia, gets the win. And maybe it does further some dissension between Naomi. Maybe it does further some dissension between Tiffany and Nia. I think there's a lot of stories that are branching off of this. And I like that they're doing that. But it's not overall the best, most well-built match between the two of them, Yeah. So, I think Jimmy, you hit the nail on the head. It's more intriguing, everything going on around it, than the actual match in and of itself.
Yeah, and that's why I think this match is kind of – I know people kind of hate when they put big title matches on, the night before on SmackDown. They're like, hey, give these people – no, they want to build every show as a big event, especially – during the weekends of the pay-per-views, because it's like, hey, we're not just selling you a PLE or a pay-per-view anymore. We're selling you an entire weekend of stuff. So when you make SmackDown a big event, it makes people want to go. And that's why they're selling out so often.
Especially, we keep talking about all these overseas shows that they're doing. When they do stuff like Bash in Berlin, that they're not, WWE's not coming and doing a SmackDown or a Raw there, for the rest of the year. So they're going to pay out the ass for a weekend because it's important to them. It's the only chance they get to see it.
So, one of the driving forces for WrestleMania weekend used to be, if I go to WrestleMania weekend, I can go to a huge SmackDown, I can go to a huge WrestleMania, and then I can go to a huge Raw. They're trying to do that every time now. So, they started doing it back with Gunther when he was basically main eventing the SmackDowns before pay-per-views, and everyone's like, that's a shame. Why is it a shame? He's the star of that show. That show is a huge deal. The whole weekend's a huge deal. So I think this match probably would have served better as the SmackDown main event because the match itself isn't the story. But for whatever reason, they didn't want Gunther and Sammy here, so I'll go ahead and deal with it. And I'm intrigued with the stuff that'll surround it, but I'll get to more of that in a second. Alex. Oh, wait. So you got Nia winning, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, Alex, who do you have winning? And I'm trying to think of something. What have you thought about? How they?
I have a bit of hot take about this match. I feel that this match doesn't deserve to be in the PLE. Either it should be a triple threat match between Naomi, Bayley, and Nia. That will make much sense than this one. Or Gunther versus Sami Zayn should be here, and this match should be in the SmackDown.
Yeah.
That will be much better.
Yeah.
And even if you are putting in the PLE, so they should have a triple threat, which will be more interesting rather than having a rematch. After the two PLEs, they are having a rematch.
Yeah.
It should be in Bash in Berlin. But it didn't happen in Bash in Berlin. Now it is happening. And when they both pin Nia, I thought they will book a triple threat match only. But again, they did a number one contenders match. That was very surprising for me. And I feel like this storyline is not making that much sense. Only Tiffany is the part in the complete storyline which is making this more interesting. That when she will betray or something like that. Definitely she's going to cash in someday, but now it is not happening. There will be a tease. Definitely, like Albert said, there will be the shenanigans with Naomi and Tiffany in this match, and Nia is going to win. Definitely, Bayley is not winning this match. Not even 1% chance is there that she's going to win.
He said, "No chance in hell."
Yes.
what I'll say this about the match, because again, I said I think the stuff is surrounding the match, which is kind of interesting to me, which is it's not a PLE match, and that's kind of the reason. I think the PLE matches should be the ones that have a story for the match. This is going to be used as a device to create stories. Clearly, the Nia Tiffany tension is brewing. It's been brewing for the past few weeks. But I think the more interesting one that's going to come out of this, I think, is Bayley and Naomi. Because you kind of saw Naomi getting a little bit flustered with her. And I think what I think is going to happen is Naomi is going to be the one that accidentally cost Bayley this match. And because it's going to be because she's trying to help. And that's going to cause more dissension between Naomi and Bayley. The beautiful thing about this is it's creating a feud within the women's division that doesn't revolve around the title. And this is what people have been asking more for. We're literally getting it with Chelsea Meechin and Piper Niven, which is awesome. Chelsea Green doing the absolute second best work in all of wrestling with that stuff. And now you're going to have another
on Raw, Pure Fusion Collective, by the way.
Like they're doing stuff with the women's division outside of the title, and it's like people were like, I don't see it. Well,
and people, Triple H, doesn't know how to book the women. There's more feuds for the women now than there ever was, and now he doesn't know how to book them.
Yeah. There's more women getting on the television show each week. Some of them aren't getting that much time, but you know who else wasn't getting much time at first? Chelsea Green. She made the most of it, and now she's a highlight.
She's a mainstay,
Billie Kay was another one. She was getting 30 seconds, and she ended up becoming one of the most over superstars. And then Vince McMahon went crazy for some reason. But I do like that there's a possibility we're getting something cool out of this. I just wish it was on SmackDown, and then they made room for a different match on the PLE because, again, as I said, the PLE should be for the big matches, and the SmackDown and Raw should be to create stories for the big matches that end up on the next pay-per-view. That's my thought here. So Nia's clearly winning. She does have.
What do you think the chances are of a cash-in, though?
Next question. There we go, Albert. So you can answer right now. Does Tiffany attempt a cash-in? Yes or no?
So the fact that this is on a PLE almost, I don't know if it's a red herring to like throw everybody off to say, oh, crap, they're putting this on a PLE because Tiffany's going to cash in. Because in a way, we're all saying, the build is it's been less than what WWE has done when they built stuff to put it on a PLE. And it's not a knock on any of the performers. It's just been the booking of all of them and the story and everything. So I'm a little bit like, there's a part of me that was like, no, there's no chance. But now that it's on a PLE, there's a part of me that's going, maybe. Like, what if you're right? What if Naomi accidentally costs Bayley? They both take out their anger on Nia, and then Tiffany goes and just does it,
It's so
I don't think it happens, but I think that there's more of a chance now that it's on a PLE.
You can't cop out. We need definitive answers here, Albert.
I said no. I said I don't think it does happen.
Okay, he says no. Happen. He says no.
But I think there is a better chance of it happening now. Here.
So my girl,
I wouldn't be as shocked. I don't think so, but I wouldn't be as shocked.
My girl Amanda says she thinks that Nia's going to win. I think we all think Nia's going to win. We know Nia's going to win. And then she does think Tiffany cashes in. Courtney agrees with her. So, Alex, I'll ask you, do you agree? Ooh. Do you think Tiffany is cashing in?
I feel it's too early that Tiffany will cash in. It's too early. At least build up more 2 or 3 months and do it in some Big 4 pay-per-view, something like that. That will be much better. Not in Crown Jewel, please. We don't want in Crown Jewel. Either in Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, that will be much better. But now I don't see it's happening.
Okay. So I'm with y'all. I don't think it happens. I think when you want to create a star with the cash in, you want to do it at the bigger shows. You want to make it as big as possible. I don't think they need to wait till WrestleMania again because that got old with Damian Priest. Even though the cash in was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I loved it. I was losing my mind. I don't think they should do that with Tiffany. I think Survivor Series is probably the better option here. Mm-hmm. That way you can test the waters with her going into the Royal Rumble. And if it's working, you can ride that momentum all the way into WrestleMania for her. And if it doesn't work, you can take it off her before WrestleMania season and then she starts to build herself back up. So I think it's Survivor Series, not at Bad Blood. So all three of us agree it's not happening. But the ladies in the chat are saying it is going to happen. So
okay, but hear me out. What if we're all wrong and Bailey wins?
We all be wrong.
Well, and then the thing is that Tiffany attacks her behind, after the match is over, cashes in, and then the story now becomes, I had your back the whole time, Nia. You've got to have mine. And
that's
Nia's
interesting.
eyeing Tiffany's title, and it's like that reversal of roles. And Nia in her own way is like, I guess I can't, for a little bit, she's got to toe the line of I can't be mad at her because this is exactly what I did, kind of a thing. I think that's an interesting dynamic.
It is a very interesting one.
Yeah, I think that, again, I don't see it happening, but again, if that does happen, that could be very entertaining.
Yeah.
I like the idea. That's really good booking, honestly. And again, if it's not working, you just run that match at Royal Rumble. Nia takes it from her, and then
right.
So that's not a horrible idea. I just think Nia, I've been praising this since she came back. I think she's one of the top 3 rehires.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her run hasn't been what it could be. I don't think it's been horrible. I think they've done enough.
It's decent.
For it to be decent. I think her losing here would kind of change my perspective on that. I'm like, no, you guys completely fumbled that, and it wasn't a really good run. So I think she can't lose here. But who knows? Prove me wrong. That's my motto here. So we all agree on everything on that one.
Very weird.
So we'll move on to the next match, in which I believe will be Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. We have the leader of Judgment Day, and we have that 2-time and piece of garbage Damian Priest. He's the true street trash. That's what I'm saying here. So, Albert, I'll come to you first because you are the Finn Balor fan here. We all know it. It's fine. Finn Balor's awesome. What have you thought about this story going into the match? Do you think they've done enough to build this match to what it should be? And then clearly, who do you have winning and why?
I think this has been one of the best built feuds in WWE. I think that Finn not being there a couple of weeks ago, I was like, this kind of puts like a little bit of a stagger in the momentum of the feud. But then when him coming back, making sure that the Judgment Day kept the tag titles, and then the subsequent attack, and really, just sticking that dagger into Priest, over and over again, has been awesome. But the highlight of this feud, and what's being swept under the rug, is some of Finn's best promo work he's ever done in that promo with Rhea Ripley. I was the one who told Dom to go with Liv. I was the one who told him to stab you in the back. I'm the reason why. But it was great. It really, and I think to me that cemented that, they're putting a little bit, their eggs in Finn Balor's basket a little bit more. I think there's a part of everybody that's going to sit there and go, well, Priest, lost the world title. He lost to Gunther. This is a must win for Priest. I think this is a must win for Finn Balor. And I think that the idea is that Finn can win this one. Priest can get a win back at some point on Finn. But I think the way you ride this momentum out is let Finn start getting into those big match, scenarios.
Yeah.
He's got a guy like Priest. Let's put him up against some of the top guys. I want a Finn Balor versus Gunther world title match. I'm not saying I want Finn to win. I do want Finn to win. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying that I would even make that, something that would happen. But I think that if you put Finn in a better position by having him beat a guy like Damian Priest and go on a tear, he can be a great Raw main event match against Gunther for the world title. I'm not even saying putting him on a PLE, but I think that it would be phenomenal. And I think that at this point, Finn is still I think he's 41 now at this point, and he's still at the top of his game. Looks like $1 million. Hasn't lost a step. There's only a few more years left of this. Let's capitalize on it, and let's put the rocket under Finn Balor. This should be the start of it.
Agreed. I'll say, I think this feud suffers from being outshined. I think that's literally the only reason the perception is this is it, because you literally have Drew McIntyre and CM Punk on the same show, and then you also have the whole the whole Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley thing in the same process as this. So it really kind of goes under the radar here. I'm glad you pointed out like the little things that have made this feud kind of cool because it does set it apart from other ones. Alex, what about you? Who do you got winning? And do you think this is going to be the final match in this feud?
No, I don't think so. I feel that this should continue till WrestleMania. Okay.
Ooh.
I have a bit of different take on this one. Finn Balor is the guy. Because of him, I fall in love with NXT. He was the first guy that I liked in NXT. And from there, I started watching NXT. So I like Finn Balor. Damian Priest has been a workhorse for WWE from very long time. So what I feel is Finn should win now, okay, and then the feud will continue for like a month or so, and then they will again collide at Survivor Series, where Damian wins. After Damian wins, Judgment Day attacks Damian like brutally assault type of thing. So he should be out for like few months. Maybe he returns at Rumble. He eliminates Finn Balor from the Rumble match, and then they will collide at WrestleMania. And in WrestleMania, Finn should win, and then they both shake hands. And then Finn should go for the world title because he needs at least one title reign before he hang up his boots. And we need that right now. That is the perfect time right now because he's like the top heel in Raw, other than Drew McIntyre, you can say, or Gunther.
You think he's more over? You think he's a bigger heel than Gunther?
Gunther, I don't feel he's a heel because he always been by himself.
So you think he's kind of riding the?
Yes, he's like. Yes,
that's fair. That's fair.
So I feel like this should continue like at least for like long period of time. I need this feud more and more and more because it is very interesting type of feud.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Finn Balor winning as well.
Yeah.
Damn, man, we're gonna clean sweep this because I think Finn Balor is winning this as well. I think I was a Finn Balor fan from the moment I saw him. Just a fan. I wasn't like big into him. And then he went back to his second run in NXT, and I was like, yo, this Finn Balor is awesome. And then now this Finn Balor is like, yo, what are we doing here? Everyone always talks about like how certain people are like ageless and they're just so good. And Finn Balor deserves to be in these conversations as well. He is this is going to be such a hot take, and I really don't care. Finn Balor is every bit the wrestler AJ Styles is.
Yes.
Yes.
Finn Balor doesn't do like as many moves as AJ, but he's every bit as clean and crisp in that ring. It doesn't get cleaner. He is so good at literally every single detail in that ring. As a babyface, he's not as entertaining. That is just what it is. But he's not a babyface right now. He's a heel, and he's doing a fantastic job with it. And I think you need to ride that momentum. I think he needs this win. Of all the people on pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it, he needs this win more than anybody. And I think if he loses, it's like, okay, well, I really don't believe in the Judgment Day anymore. I think that would literally pull the rug out from under them, which you don't need to do in this moment. So I got Finn Balor winning as well. There we go. And now, bonus question time. And again, I'm going to go to Albert first. Do you think we see any kind of dissension start between the Judgment Day in this match?
Not yet. I think it's
too soon. I'll explain why when it's my turn.
Okay. I'd say not yet because I think it's too soon. I think I know where you're going. I think that the big issue is going to come when I think that inevitably Dom is going to be the one to take the Intercontinental title from Jey Uso.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly and truthfully believe it. I think that that's going to be the thing that's going to start the dissension there because I think that Finn is going to pull the same card as he did with Priest, and he's going to look over and see that Liv, spoiler alert, you're going to see what my prediction is going to be, for the next match, but Liv is going to, be the women's champion, and, Finn and JD are going to lose the tag titles, and then Dom's going to win the Intercontinental Championship, and Finn's going to start looking over his shoulder again and going, every time, this should be me, and I should be the big one, the one who's wearing the title, and it's always somebody else, And I think that especially after if he does fail to lose against Gunther, that's going to be like where Finn's going to the wheels are going to start turning, and we're going to see an already heel Finn Balor turn even more heel again. Like we just saw a heel Dom Mysterio turn even more heel. I think we're going to see Finn do the exact same thing. I think that's where the dissension starts. I think it's too soon right now.
Okay, so first off, Courtney agrees with you. Second off, don't you ever dare compare Finn Balor to Dominic Mysterio ever again. They're not on the same wavelength at all. Dominic Mysterio is here. Finn Balor is here. That was insane of you. Second off, I totally agree that Dominic Mysterio is taking that Intercontinental title from Jey Uso, and that's beautiful. Because get that yeet out of here. No yeet, because Dominic Mysterio is the man.
I love Jey, but I mean, Dom's the hottest heel in wrestling right now.
Alex, I'll come to, and that's great because Jey Uso is a hot babyface. That's going to make
exactly, and that's what you want to do. You want to put those two hot acts,
those atmospheres. Alex, do you think we start to see any kind of dissension between the Judgment Day?
No, it is like Albert said, it's too soon. But the Jey Uso part that he said that Dominic going to win the IC title, that is for sure. Because I like Jey Uso, but I don't like the thing that he do this yeet. I hate that thing. I literally hate that thing.
I love it.
And I don't like Dom. I hate Dom. But
You're supposed to hate Dom.
I want that he win the title from Jey Uso. I just want to see one time, like, he get like a very bad type of beating, Dominic Mysterio. Like Brock Lesnar did with him. I like that type of beating Dom should get in the upcoming months. That is my thing. I want to see.
I want to see you get beat down like Brock Lesnar beat down Dom. How you like that? How you like them apples, man? What's up with this? We got to have a conversation off air. What's this Dom hate coming from? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because I don't know if anybody caught this on Raw. I did see someone else catch it, but when I was watching, I noticed JD kind of side-eyeing Dom and Liv on their way to the ring. Like he was like kind of a little bit jealous. He saw Liv and he's like, I want that. Why does he have it? And then in the ring, after they were done doing what they did and they were celebrating there for a little bit, Dom went to hug JD and JD gave him the cold shoulder. I think there's something there. Now, I don't know. I couldn't tell you how this happens because I can't imagine JD getting kicked out of the Judgment Day and becoming a babyface. And I think it would be insanely stupid to do that with Dom if Ray isn't involved at all. Because if Dom's going to become a babyface, it has to be with Ray.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even had a title run as a heel, like a legit title run. So that'd be stupid. I don't know where they go with this, but I do find that interesting. And since Triple H has taken over, we know there are little hints that they drop before things start to go downhill. And I've seen them, so I can't ignore them. I just can't. And I think, man, I guess it doesn't make sense if Finn's winning here. But I don't know. It might not happen in this match. I do think something happens during the show, though, where you start to see the dissension. So I'm sticking with my answer. I do think some dissension starts to happen.
Maybe it's in the next match.
Yeah, maybe. Courtney says yeet. I say no yeet. Yeet that shit right out the comments. Get out of here with it. Get out of here. Dom is going to escape the shark cage. Well, that's a perfect segue because now we're going into
you, Courtney.
Oh, and I do want to say I do hate on Jey Uso so much. But I agree with Alex 1,000% here. I think Jey Uso's awesome, but I like the Jey Uso pre-yeet.
Yes.
It's just annoying to me.
Yeah.
I get why he's champion. He deserves it. He is over as anybody on the roster, and he's been fantastic. He's put in the work for 14 years, and he's really been a workhorse since the Bloodline thing started. He deserves every bit of what he's getting right now. I just hate that yeet stuff. I like it when he gets serious. And I really like it that he's going to be just a transitional champion for Dominic Mysterio. That's awesome. But now we'll go into the semi-main event of the evening. It is Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship with poor Daddy Dom stuck in a shark cage. I'm assuming above the ring, which is just horrible. The man's already been behind bars. Now we're going to put him behind bars and put him in the air. That's just insane to me. I don't know why we're doing this. I do not like it. But Adam Pearce is a butthead. Chelsea Green been telling us this for almost a year now. He is just
Head Pierce.
I hate Dom
Pierce. I call him Poo Poo Head Pierce because this was just the worst decision of all time. But it does make for an exciting, fun time. So with that said, Alex.
Mustache is like broom.
Alex, we will come to you first. How have you felt about the build for this match, and who do you have winning?
I was expecting that they will have like a women's Hell in a Cell match because this rivalry has been hot like from very long time. But having like a match without like such lame stipulation of the shark cage, I don't like this stipulation of hanging Dom in the shark cage. There should be something else. So definitely Liv is going to win. Rhea is not winning the title. And Dom is going to escape the cage. He will interfere in the match and Liv is going to win. Pretty simple. Okay. But I want Dom should get little bit of beating. At least I want to see.
He just got beat. Look at that picture right there. He's getting beat right there. Rhea's being a little bean, kicking him in the no-no spot.
He deserves that. And he should cut his mustache. He should cut his mustache.
He has been brainwashed by Triple H's booking here, man. This is crazy to me. What are we doing here? Albert, speak some common sense here, man. Who do you got winning this match? And do you think this is the end of Liv and Rhea, at least for the time being?
No. What? No way. This is going to go on forever. I have the feeling that this is going to be like one of those feuds that we're going to keep. It's just not going to go away. Because where do either of them go at this point? All right, so here's the thing. I've been thinking about this. Dom's going to get out of that cage. Dom's going to interfere. It's going to happen. It's also, they're banning Dom, but that doesn't mean that the rest of Judgment Day just can't run out there too. Yes. So just putting Dom in the shark cage doesn't really solve all the problems, So, look, I actually enjoy Adam Pearce, but I mean, this is a bit of a bad move on his part if you're, going to look at this in the sense of being, the TV show that it is. The rest of Judgment Day can just run back out there if they want you to interfere anyway. Or they can help Dom get out. There's so many different things that can happen. I think that it makes sense that all the hijinks ends up costing Rhea Ripley the match, and she, inevitably doesn't win the championship. But then she, again, still doesn't lose clean. So she has every right to keep trying to stalk Liv Morgan because she's still going to want that championship. So I think it will extend the feud if you do it that way. My only fear is that it just gets to a point where everybody's like, all right, we love Rhea, and we do want to see her get her hands on Liv, but she's done it, and she had this opportunity, and she got screwed, but
enough is enough.
Come with a better game plan, Like, I don't know. I just think that hurts Rhea's momentum with her losing again, and I know that sounds weird because she was just champion for such a long time, but I think Liv wins. I think there's hijinks and shenanigans, and I think that they continue with this for a little while longer, at least maybe up until Survivor Series, where maybe Rhea wins and then they can reignite this feud again at WrestleMania or something like that. But
I don't like, Albert, I'll say this is like female version of Roman versus Brock.
Yeah, but at least with
we're calling Liv Morgan Roman Reigns now. Bro, I would have never predicted she got that hot off this angle. I'm a genius.
Just blowing up his ego, Alex. We're just blowing up his ego.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna say. Liv's winning. There's no question about that. Liv is winning here. I don't think Dom escapes the cage. I think I just don't. Even though it would be great to see him just use them muscles to break through those bars and hit Rhea with a frog splash from the cage. Oh my God, I'd lose my mind. But I don't think he escapes.
He should bleed.
He can't bleed. Nobody else can bleed on the show except for CM Punk. Because once he bleeds, everyone else is going to look like just kid play. But I do think someone helps Liv. And I don't think it's Carlito or Finn or Jay. Because they tend to not really get involved in these matches. It's always Dom. And I think that's why he's the one in the shark cage. And why I'm okay with it. It makes sense to me. I just don't like him being behind bars. That's silly. That's just, you're giving the man PTSD. I think we see Raquel return here. And that's why I think this is the end of this feud for now, because it allows Liv to go off and start being the champion that she should be. The storyline is it's run its course at this point. If you want to do Rhea and Dom stuff, I'm all for it. I still want to see Rhea versus Dom. But it gives Rhea something. She loses. That's fine because she got screwed over again. And it gives her a great feud after. Because anybody that saw Rhea Ripley versus Raquel in NXT, it was one of the best women's matches in NXT history. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It puts Raquel in a position to highlight what she can do. And as a heel, which is her more, kind of like with Finn, it's just more natural to her to get that smiling crap out of here. And again, that's another feud for the women's division that doesn't revolve around a title. It makes so much sense to me.
Yes.
And if anybody's been following me with this Dom, Liv, Rhea stuff, they know I'm pretty much on the money with everything I'm saying. I may have been like off on the timing a few times, but I've pretty much been on point with it up till this point. So if Raquel doesn't show up, okay, I've fallen off the cliff and don't listen to me anymore. But I think Raquel shows up here, and that's how Liv retains. Okay. And also Raquel has unfinished business with Rhea. So with that said, bonus question. We already know my answer to this, so I'll go to you, Albert. Do you think Raquel shows up here tonight on that?
Actually, that sounds really good, and that makes a lot of sense. Sure. I mean, yeah, let's jumpstart it.
Okay. And what about you, Albert, Alex? That AL stuff is getting on my nerves, bro. Invisible hands.
I'm okay with that if Raquel returns, but if she's returning, she should powerbomb Dominic.
What the? So that's a yes?
Yes.
You think she's showing up?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I've done persuaded y'all. That's what's happened here. How's she going to powerbomb the man when he's in a cage? Wow.
He will be interfering the match, or she will come and powerbomb.
Man, this ain't fair. This man has been through enough in his life, and you're trying to just add to it. You're just trying to traumatize this man for life. That's not cool. I'm done. We're done talking about this because, oh my goodness, he starts talking crap about Daddy Dom, and I just can't take it anymore. But now it is time for the main event. That shouldn't be the main event, in my opinion. Yes. But it is what it is. Roman's the guy. He's always going to be there. Blah, 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 blah. Cody and Roman versus the Bloodline 2.0. Now, I'll start off with this. Alex, how do you feel about this Bloodline 2.0? And then from there, just transition into who you think is going to win this match and why.
Okay, so this Bloodline 2.0, they made a very big mistake that they put Solo as the new tribal chief. Jacob is completely outshining the guy. Solo looked like a fool in front of Jacob. Okay.
Question real quick.
Okay.
Do you think it's by design, though?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're not like poo-pooing on it because it's like, oh, they're doing a bad job. There's a reason for it, and you understand. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And this Tangaloa stuff, I don't know why the fuck that guy is there in the Bloodline. Okay. He don't even know how to grab the title. I have never seen a guy who grab a title like this. I have never seen a guy in my entire life. So he's like, don't know why the fuck he's there. So I like the storyline which is going on because in the end, it will be like The Rock is the main boss who is behind the Bloodline 2.0. That is like almost confirmed thing. But instead of Solo, it should be Jacob. I feel like that. And going to the match, I am a bit worried about this storyline. Why? Because everybody was hoping that it will be like Roman will return, then the Usos will join them, then Sammy will also come and join the original Bloodline, and then they will have a War Games match. But now Cody joined Roman. That put like a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't like that part. They are just doing the Rock Cena stuff, pretty similar. Once in a lifetime, you will never see, never again, this, that, and all this thing. But this tag team, I'm not liking it. And Roman is going to take the pin, most likely Solo or Jacob. Solo will pin Roman. And instead of Cody, it should be Jey Uso, according to me. It should be Jey Uso. or Jimmy Uso. That will be much better. Because now War Games is happening, and now the situation is like that maybe it will be Cody, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton and Roman Reigns against the new bloodline. That is like, no, I don't want to see. Please put Kevin Owens out of bloodline. Please, I request to WWE, please put him out of this bloodline story. And at least Randy Orton should also win at least one PLE match. From when he is returned, he's just losing every single match, like the big matches.
He can take it though. I mean, he's Randy.
Still,
He's at that
like
age.
at least little bit, or
Okay.
just put Dominic through the table with an RKO. That is also a fine.
Man's cutting straight. He's not even in the match.
My son, I can't take this anymore.
So
I'm sorry, Dom. I'm sorry. I would never had him on here. I know he's going to talk so much crap about you. Oh my goodness. Before I let Albert go, I'm going to go ahead and try and answer some of Alex's questions based on my brilliant booking mind. I think, because you want Kevin Owens out of the bloodline story, I think that's happening. I think what happens at SmackDown after Bad Blood is that's when Kevin's going to snap. And I think it's going to snap. I'll just go ahead and do my prediction now. I think Cody and Roman win. And I think Solo takes the pin.
Okay.
Because again, I think Solo looking the part, trying to play the part while Jacob looks more like the part is the story they're telling with Bloodline 2.0. So if Solo takes the pin and Jacob is still looking strong as heck, that gets Jacob kind of starting to look like, I love you, Solo, but maybe I'm supposed to be the guy here. It's not going to happen anytime soon. We still got to get through War Games, but I think Roman pins Solo. And that leads, they were talking about doing a video before the show that has title implications. You have the graphic here, so you clearly think it too. Cody and Roman is the crown jewel main event. And I think that's what gets KO to turn on him. And then there's going to be shenanigans. There always is. You're going to have Tonga and Tama try and interfere. Who's going to help? I think this is where Jimmy Uso returns. And he helps them. And that kind of starts to build that bloodline to take on Bloodline 2.0. I think Cody and KO and Randy all move on from Bloodline after Crown Jewel.
Okay.
100%. Because I think Bloodline ends up costing Roman the title at Crown Jewel, and that's kind of what kickstarts that thing. And then you'll have KO and Cody, because KO is pissed that he's like, not only are you teaming with him, but you're giving him a title shot after everything. KO snaps. And then he's done with Bloodline finally. But I think this match is more to kind of like with the Nia Bailey match. I think this one's to kind of set up some things going into the future. I would love to see Cody get the pin here. It is his hometown, but he is a team player through and through. And Roman is kind of the hotter deal. And I think there's a story brewing there to where you're going to get Cody finally do that. But that's further down the road. I won't get started on that. But yeah, I think Roman pins Solo. And then all the other stuff you're worried about, I think gets fixed going from SmackDown on. So, Albert, I'll now let you go. How do you feel about the teaming up of Cody and Roman? And who do you have winning? And who do you have pinning who? Go ahead and just
5 minutes to do this. I got 4 minutes to do this, and I'm going to knock it out in like 2. All right, here's the deal. I love this. I love that Roman and Cody interview. Give me more stuff like that. People are like, oh, it doesn't make sense. Blah, blah. No, it's well produced. It made sense. It's better than being in front of a live audience, because when you're in front of a live audience tends to try to take over segments and stuff like that. And if it's outside, we know that there's not going to be random people running out and interfering with their words and stuff. It's
That's
good.
A great perspective.
More stuff like that. I'd like to see more like backstage contract signings like they used to do with like Hogan and Andre, stuff like that, instead of doing them in the ring. I'm all for well-produced backstage segments. That was amazing. I like this build. I like Bloodline 2.0. I like the fact that there is a false king, right now, because Solo has been the false king since the beginning. Roman anointed him as being the next tribal chief, but he never passed anything down. He took it. He's been the false king this entire time. And now we're even saying he's the false king within his own faction. It's huge on every implication and every level. It makes so much sense that Solo is being that person because he thinks he's better than what he really is. I think you're right, Jimmy. I think that this is the end of all this. I think Cody and Roman win the match. I think after the match, there's, the bloodline attacks again. I think that we're all expecting, this, KO and Randy Orton to come out, and they don't. And then I think that Jimmy Uso does return. Jimmy does come out to try to help. He kind of evens the score. Cody and Roman shake hands at the end. Then Cody leaves. We have, whatever the interaction between Roman and Jimmy is. And that brings us out. The next night on SmackDown, I think you're kind of right. I think, KO comes out and he's like, you're going to come out here. You're going to shake this guy's hand. You're helping him with his, his family. Has nothing to do with us. You could have walked away, but you're helping him. You're teaming with him. And then he's going to drop the bombshell, like you said, Jimmy. Well, we're going to face each other. I have to give him a world title shot. It's only fair. He was champion for this long, Kevin. No, he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
KO's going to go off the rails. I think eventually that leads to a KO and Cody program. And I think that eventually gets us to what I think is the biggest feud for Cody on SmackDown, the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud.
Yeah. I didn't think about the Randy, but yeah, I see Randy coming out, KO not coming out because he's like, no, poo-poo on that. And then that's when Jimmy comes out. If Jimmy does. I do have one last bonus question. So this match itself has 4 possible points. I don't think I caught who you have pinning who, though. Who you got pinning who?
Roman pins Solo.
This man's copying me. All right. So the big question on everybody's mind now, because Cody has a big mouth and Pat McAfee can't shut up. Do we think The Rock makes an appearance at Bad Blood? Alex, I'll let you go first.
I think he will return because don't know why they put him in this match as main event. If it is main event instead of Drew and Punk, so definitely something big is going to happen in the end of the show. So Rock is the only one I can see. Other than that, I can't see anything that there is a reason behind they put as the main event.
Okay.
Other than that, no.
Albert, what about you? Do you think The Rock shows up?
No. I think that it's Jimmy Uso. I don't think we're getting The Rock.
Okay. And then just for fun here, apparently I don't pay attention to this stuff. Someone does, and it's kind of weird to me, but it is what it is. Apparently Brock Lesnar got added to the active roster this past week. Do you think there's any possibility or any chance that Brock Lesnar shows up at this show in any way, shape, or form? Not in this match. I think it wouldn't make any sense. But in any way, shape, or form, do you think Brock Lesnar shows up?
No.
I don't think so. Crazier things have happened, but I don't think so.
Okay. I don't think so either. But in case nobody did hear, Pat McAfee's like, I heard the big guy's coming back. And then Cody said, which one? So that's got people talking. I know Cody likes to stir the pot and get people talking. He's a politician. That's what he does. But I did think it was interesting enough, at least for us to just, play around with the thought of it. But that's the show, everybody. Guess what? We did it under an hour. Whoop, whoop. That's a chomp, a pat on the back for that one, for sure. But with that said, it is time to say our goodbyes. So with that, Albert, I'll let you go first. If there's anything you would like to say or anything you'd like to plug for the people, let them know now.
So I just recently uploaded another video onto the Slam sessions. I'm going to finish out. It's been a couple of months. I apologize. Personal things have kind of gotten in the way, but I'm back. I said I'm going to do 52 episodes, a full year's worth of episodes. I'm at 46. I think I just uploaded. Got a few more for you guys. So, stay tuned there.
And then Invisible Hand yourself. Do you have anything you'd like to let the people know about some upcoming things we got going on?
Okay, so subscribe to Wrestle Buddy because we are going to have one quiz show very soon. We are working on that. Plus, let us know that if you like this podcast, we tried something new this time. Some of the graphics and everything. Other than that, please follow Jimmy Bebe and Albert on Twitter because they have really, really good and non-biased takes, which is very hard to find in IWC.
And I'll just let it. I kind of took a step out of the IWC because I'm kind of tired of the people in the IWC. But if you're not a dumb fan and you want to talk wrestling with me, I'll gladly talk wrestling in DMs or in the podcast itself. We got Courtney. She comments all the time and we interact with all the time. So feel free to comment in here. Come join us live and I'll do it. She says she thinks The Rock is coming back. And then she says, Brock, she's laughing at the idea of Brock. Hey, I'm just pointing out some things that apparently have happened. I don't think he's coming back, but
you forgot about Omos.
No, that ain't never happened. He's going to show up in AEW as well. And before we go, I do want to say, I said I quit watching AEW. I did tune in last night, and hey, I think they kind of figures. Congrats to him first and foremost on their TV deal.
Yes,
shut the heck up about it now. We can put it off on the back burner for 3, maybe 4 more years.
Great day for professional wrestling.
Yes, it's fantastic. They're going to be live streaming on Max, which is what WWE is going to be doing. They're progressing at an extremely fast rate, whether people want to admit it or not. It is. Let's just hope they can kind of figure out the attendance thing because it kind of does teeter back up and down a little bit. Hopefully they get it figured out. Stick with an identity. That's my only opinion. Just don't change back and forth. But last night's show was pretty good. It didn't bring me back. I'm not going to watch again until after Wrestle Dream. But it wasn't a bad show.
I'll be honest. I watched 2 weeks ago. I wanted to see Danielson and McGuinness. So I watched Grand Slam. I loved it. I actually loved the entire show. I'm going to watch. I just haven't had a chance. Just my schedule hasn't added up. I'm going to watch, this week, though. I really want to see Bryan and Okada, and I really want to see Ricochet and Ospreay. So I'm going to watch again. Look, I mean, I don't love those matches, but if I'm going to watch one of those matches, I want to see the two best of those go at it. So that's my thing. So I'm very intrigued about both of those. Congratulations to everybody in AEW. And it's a big day for professional wrestling. I mean, it's 5 more years guaranteed of AEW being on air, which means 5 more years of guaranteed that these wrestlers have a great place to work, that are getting good money to work there, and it gives an alternative to a lot of wrestling fans. If you don't think that that's the case, you're a dumbass, and you don't deserve to be a wrestling fan.
And I will say, my favorite part of the show is Mox's angle with what he's doing. I think they're handling. I think they're
going to be interesting.
We'll see. I think Mox is playing the character that he's playing brilliantly. The opening promo he cuts, you're gonna love it, and then the ending promo, the whole ending angle that he cuts, it's great because it's intriguing and it gets people to tune in the following week, which is what AEW I don't think is capitalized on enough. So they did it this week. Really good job. I wanted to give them a shout out. Just again, I'm not a bias guy. If it's good, I'll tell you it's good.
Yes.
But with that said, thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Pay attention to the rest of the buddy. They got a lot of content, whether it's on the website or the channel right here. So thank you for watching. Later, everybody.